Intro.
This is proof that the music industry has a demonic agenda. I mean, look at this. This is The Weeknd before and after. This is Katy Perry before and after. This is Kid Laroi before and after. Taylor Swift before and after. Playboy Cardi before and after. Trippie Redd before and after. A$AP Rocky before and after. Eminem before and after. You see, the devil works by deception. And most people say, chill out, it's just music. But what they don't know is that the Bible says faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. So when you're hearing lyrics written by the devil, all you are doing is growing faith in the devil and his plan to steal and destroy in your life.
We now have the ability to extract the DNA from fossilized remains of ancient forms of life, including forms of life that we used to think were our ancestors. And when you compare their DNA to ours, now we know that we did not descend, for example, from Neanderthal. We may have some Neanderthal DNA, some people do, especially in Northern Europe, because we shared the earth with them. We walked the earth with them. They say we probably had Neanderthal boyfriends and girlfriends. We interbred. I was a program not long ago, and I made that statement. There was a woman in the front row, and she said, I still do. I still have a Neanderthal boyfriend. And then the guy next to her wasn't laughing at all. So I got to see the whole relationship workshop, happen right before my eyes. But the point is, we did not descend from Neanderthal. We shared the earth with them. If we walked the earth with them, we couldn't have descended from them.
Maybe the bloodline of the first Neanderthals is now the royal family.
Say, bro, that's why you gotta watch these little girls you be out in these clubs with, man. Can't just be running up on anything. Look at this girl. Now she look normal, right? Till her eyes get to doing all this right here. See? Be careful, man. Don't be sorry. Be careful, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't be sorry. Be careful.
Sometimes I think the eyes are just graphic glitches. Maybe somehow the transmission messes up. But when there's real slits in the eyes, that's where I'm like, whoa, what's going on there?
We come from monkeys until I found out that evolution's all a scam. So basically, the world is about 6,000 years old, just like the Bible says. It has a firmament, just like the Bible says.
Satellites out there. What do you say to that when all these satellites out there in space?
There are some satellites that are on balloons. That's why NASA is the #1 user of helium in the world. NASA controls 99% of the helium supply. They're taking satellites, filling up balloons with helium, and hooking satellites to these balloons. They float up about 120, 130,000 feet. That's as high as a balloon's going to go. Now, if you believe in satellites that they're actually in space, then you believe that there's about 50,000 or 100,000 satellites traveling around at 17,500 miles an hour. A bullet don't even travel that fast. Do you really believe that there are 50,000 satellites in space right now, 100 miles up in the air, traveling around the planet faster than a bullet? They don't need maintenance. They don't need a fuel source. There's no other proof of them other than NASA says that they're there. Do you really believe that? I'm telling you that nothing in the world can travel 20,000 miles an hour continuously with no fuel source. I'm telling you, we can't even get something to fly that fast, let alone do it with no fuel source, and they're not hitting into each other and blowing up. If you so much as hit a piece of dust, you're gonna kaboom because of the speed at which you're going. So you're telling me that 100,000 or 50,000 satellites are in orbit 20,000 miles an hour and they haven't hit a piece of dust and they're not falling back to Earth all the time? No, brother, let me tell you the truth. These satellites are on balloons, and that's why you can go right now and you can pull up a video of a satellite with a balloon attached to it, because when these satellites crash back to Earth, they always have a balloon attached to them.
This is a video of a satellite falling to the ground in Indonesia with a balloon attached.
Oh, maybe Bryce is right. Maybe I'm not a brain-dead, dumb hillbilly. Well, maybe I am, but I'm still right,
We've actually seen that footage of what looked to be the balloon and a satellite dropping down. We weren't sure. I wasn't sure what it was back then, but it does kind of make sense now.
Entity, the demiurge, that feeds off your soul so it can continue to exist. They showed you in the movie Clash of the Titans Part 1 and 2. Why are the gods dying? Because the humans are not praying to us. Praying is another way of giving your energy or feeding that which lords over you. When you pray, see, because you hear conscious people say, well, I pray to myself. I pray to the stars. Why don't you just leave the fucking word alone It's almost like you just can't say, fuck it, stop praying. Start invoking. Start evoking. Stop praying. Praying is asking something outside of you for assistance. And it's happy to give you that assistance because you're saying that eternal me, I offer it to you. I offer it into you by way of fear. What do I fear? Whatever it is I'm asking for. I want my kids to do this. I want my kids to do that. You may be praying for your kid to go to school, but you're only doing that because you're scared if that kid doesn't go to school. You have a creator entity, the demiurge, that feeds off your soul so it can continue to exist.
I wouldn't say I pray so much as I give thanks. I am always giving thanks, even if it's so much as catching a green light before a turn on a traffic way. Plus, I always kind of feel bad asking for things. Maybe I should start incorporating it, but either way, I give gratitude as much as I can.
Over the world, from Taos, New Mexico to Bristol, England, people have reported hearing a droning noise that keeps them awake, causes headaches, and drives them to distraction. But nobody knows what's causing it. Scientists have blamed industrial equipment, volcanic activity, and even marine life mating calls. But what if all that noise is drowning out the truth? That these unexplained hums come from the U.S. Navy's low-frequency active sonar, or even HAARP's powerful radio waves. The Navy's sonar, used to detect submarines, can travel thousands of miles underwater and has been linked to the disorientation of marine mammals. HAARP, the high-frequency active auroral research program, emits intense waves that could never cause atmospheric disturbances, translating into the low-frequency hums being reported worldwide. But we may never know, because HAARP's taxpayer-funded research is secret. Global destruction! Sorry.
Dude. Oh my god.
Wow. What is that?
E no pé do arco-íris. Que tá o dinheiro?
Full-on double rainbow. Wow, that's like a clear end there too. I don't believe I've ever seen the clear end of a rainbow like that. Very interesting.
So do you see the face that they put on the Oscars? Look at the two eyes. That's two eyes right there. And then that's the third eye in the middle. That's why it's like super bright. And the production design is like a halo. Weird.
So Yahoo has to run this fact check to let you know that Tom Hanks hasn't been executed by military tribunal. Wow, what a fact check. Ever seen a fact check like that? So why Tom Hanks? What's so interesting about Tom Hanks? This is a picture from the movie Thor. On the right side is Isaac Cappy. He made a bunch of allegations against Tom Hanks and others. And what happened to Isaac? Like most up-and-coming actors. Was there anything interesting surrounding it? You bet. So here's a post from Tom Hanks 1 month before Cap. Historic Route 66. Roadkill? I hope not. Hanks. And on the very bottom of the picture, it looks to be a cap with the letter P on it, which I think would mean Cat P if this were true. So when's the last time Tom Hanks posted? September 22, 2020. It's interesting, he used to post all the time. So remember when this happened? Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are officially Greek citizens. Found that interesting too. Now let's go through a couple famous people to see what they were saying about Tom Hanks. Run Forest on her shirt. Interesting. 5 of Spades. I don't know what that means. Now David Spade came out with a really weird video and you can go find it. He, out of nowhere, he just starts talking about Tom Hanks and how we need to see him in the box, meaning on the TV, We need to know that he's okay, and if he pulls through, everything's going to be great, but if he doesn't, he's going to go on his rooftop. Now I'm going to get closer to this picture as well, too, but in this, he says, Tom Hanks, please comment that you're okay. Now getting a little close to that picture, look at the sticky note. Talk to us, Tom H., with the Minecraft character there. Bet they're talking through Discord, if this were true. And remember this when Ricky Gervais was roasting people at the Golden Globes, and he was talking about a certain subject? I won't mention on here, I don't want to get booted. Now this is an old post from Oprah, but maybe Tom's trying to tell you guys he's not allowed to talk. Look at his black eye. And then that clock. This was from 2013. There are two kingdoms, people. God and the devil. Choose one.
Yo, got a little deep there, eh?
I was in the egg for 3 days. To be honest, at award shows, especially during this time, I didn't like to talk to people. I always felt that it threw me off of my performance.
All right, so a psychic went on Fox News to predict Trump's 2024, and you guys gotta see this.
Let's do just one card. We like that one.
What is that?
I mean, I do recognize that I'm at Fox TV. I am a sense of loss. A sense of loss. But it's very specific. No, let me move on.
Human were never meant to see part 31.
Anton Lavey, founder of Church of Satan.
I won't mention his name, but it was a big leader and founder of a huge satanic organization. And he was on his deathbed. And for a Satanist, at the time of death, it's a great victory for them because death is a huge thing that they celebrate. And he was getting ready to die and pass on his powers and that. And on his deathbed, he must have got some revelation or an angelic appearance or something. And he went into shock and he said, oh my, what have I done? He said, there's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. And his whole life had been spent propagating these satanic beliefs.
Aleister Crowley, the man who spoke to demons.
If nothing else, I really hope that all of our questions are answered upon death.
So this video is going viral in Mexico, and basically this group of friends is camping, and they can tell they're being hunted or stalked or something. So they actually take their drone out and use thermal to follow it, and that's what you can see here. Well, then something unexplained happens. I went ahead and translated the audio, so here it is from the beginning.
Context. I went camping with some friends, and we noticed that a person started following us. During the night, we felt being watched and heard noises around us. The next day at camp, we saw their tracks, and we were missing things. I raised my drone with thermal camera to follow the person and retrieve our things. The person stopped at this point. Changed the vision of the drone to see the person, and this is what happened.
And it's looking up.
You're telling me this guy was able to walk up with a rifle in his hand and scale a roof, and you don't think the Secret Service, and let me tell you, they get there days before. Let me tell you how a security apparatus is supposed to run. Days before. They get in and they look at every possible angle in which somebody could hurt the president, okay? And I'm not even talking about once you get to the Secret Service. I'm talking about if you just have security in general. Before you speak, they will go, hey, this is the stage? Okay, let me tell you, that right there is a problem. They'll mark that as a spot. That right there is a problem. We need to know who this person is. They'll knock on doors, okay? They got to figure out every possible angle that any individual could potentially get on a roof, because you know what? This has happened in the past. People have been shot from roofs. People have been shot from windows. There is a 0% chance that some random person with a rifle was able to scale a roof, unless there was just an unbelievable failure in intelligence. And you want to know why it's unbelievable? Because I don't effing believe it. I don't believe it. I want the names of the Secret Service agents that allowed this remarkable security failure to go down. Because I don't believe this. I'm done with this. I don't believe this, not for 1 second. Having been around the president, having literally almost watched my husband get shot because he came down the wrong set of stairs at the NRA, screaming at him. And I jump in front of someone like, don't shoot him. That's my husband. And you're telling me they knew he was going to speak and they weren't worried about the roofs?
I'm pretty convinced that aliens could come down and make contact with humanity and it could be all over the front page and people would just not even bat an eye. So this doesn't surprise me that this kind of failure to maintain basic operations exists.
Lots of breaking news I'm about to cover. As you see, there is a hole here in his chest. Also, this woman was reporting from Times Square showing that the televisions was not reporting what happened to him. And I even went down to Atlanta to the CNN Center and they cut off all the televisions, as well as when I went to the bars, they would not show it regardless. Even when I asked them to put the news on, they said they're not allowed to. Why is there not a single article that is sitting there saying what happened today? Literally some journalist sitting there saying firecracker. Also, this guy was out in the field and he was trying to get the police and the Secret Service attention and they weren't really paying attention to him saying that, hey, someone is up on the roof. Now, I do want to let you know that he did get up and he let the crowd know that he was okay. He was saying that he needed his shoes, but obviously, like you saw, there was the hole in his chest, as you see here. But obviously, you better know that they're wearing a tight vest. So this is where he was holding the rally, this is where Secret Service was, and this is where the active person was. Also, this was really, really weird to me. When I was down in Atlanta, they would not play this stuff on the television. I don't get it. It's very confusing. Tell me what your thoughts are. Take care. God bless.
People who still think this is just a show are truly blind. You can see how those two men lift her up and place her in the middle of a circle, as if she were being sacrificed. They perform some sort of ritual right in the middle of a concert.
What the hell? What is going on?
Basement. It's freaking weird. Oh my god!
Yes?
What?
Hello? What is that?
Oh, no way.
Who are you? I'm not gonna hurt you.
No, what the hell?
Leave my lights alone.
Yeah, right.
I just realized that the cat he's holding is not actually his cat, but a skinwalker pretending to be a cat. You could tell just by how weird the cat is acting, and as it stares off into the cat that is mimicking. After watching this video, I will not be getting any pets anytime soon. Let's get to it.
How did you get into our nose?
What is that all about? I don't know what I would do if I found that to be in that situation. Yeah, you slowly saw them shift into fear as they realized, what the hell is going on?
A form of demon that has been known to possess animals or humans. What's terrifying is that you could see that the water sounded and looked like it actually hit something before falling to the ground. So even though we couldn't see it, we could hear it, and you could see that the water physically hit it.
Salta, pequeño. Salta, pequeño. Vamos. Vamos para allá. Te gusta caminar arriba de los troncos, ¿verdad? Bueno.
That was some pretty cool marionette work there. I believe that's what that was.
Mas que pode, mano? Abriu o portão, mano.
What is that? Oh, it's just a horse. I thought it was like a horseman. It had to turn.
Sinceramente, eu não tô acreditando nisso, não, que eu tô vendo.
It's a donkey?
Sinceramente, eu não tô acreditando.
I don't understand why everything has to be a skinwalker. Why can't we just leave it up to our own mind to interpret what we're seeing? I mean, yeah, it's cool to be able to have a label for it, but let's try to figure out what it is instead of saying, "Oh, it's a skinwalker."
Too scared to open my door.
Yeah, I probably would be too. Yeah, what is this? Why is there skinwalker vibes in this? You seeing this shit? It's like a filter of some kind, I guess.
Witchcraft is different from voodoo. Witchcraft is the power that people have to fly, to turn themselves into birds or cats or something different, to come to your house, take your soul, make you sick. They can even turn somebody's soul into a goat or chicken and eat it.
Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen
Mm-hmm.
a bird turn into a human?
Yes. And it's because of those people that we are working very hard, because we need to protect people. And Tron, my deity here, Tron, is always fighting the evil people.
Voodoo's reach is global. There are an estimated 30 million voodoo believers just in West Africa, and even more anywhere else with the history of slavery.
All the people who were taken, who were enslaved, they had their own religion. And today, in New Orleans, in Cuba, in Haiti, in Brazil, in Black America. We have voodoo there today. Because of whom? Because of those people who left. Every January 10th, we have to remember them.
Benin honors that history with an annual voodoo festival, which wouldn't have been possible 30 years ago.
Why?
Voodoo worship was suppressed by France and all its African and Caribbean colonies, driving it underground even after independence. This had a lasting impact in Benin. Voodoo is a recognized official religion here alongside Christianity and Islam, but only 11% of the population identify as voodoo believers.
Stay away from the voodoo.
That our technology is kind of going backwards. Like, think about it. When I was a kid, we had TV that had commercials that you couldn't fast forward to. Then we got DVRs, and then you could fast forward through all your commercials. Then we got streaming services that didn't have commercials. Now, our streaming services have commercials, and most of the time, you can't even fast forward through them. Not to mention, we quit using mail because it became all junk mail, and then we went to email. Now nobody uses their email because it's all junk mail, unless you have it for work. Then you have to use your email and just sort through all the junk mail. And landlines. Nobody used their landline anymore once cell phones came into existence because it was all marketing calls. Now, all your cell phone is spam calls. So everybody went to texting. Nobody calls anymore. I think our technology is actually going backwards. It's just as inconvenient as all of the things we ran away from in the 90s.
Check this out, you guys, and this is some Truman Show stuff over here, y'all. So this guy goes hiking in the forest, and he comes across this huge wall with like trees like painted on it, y'all. Check this out. It's like a three-dimensional look at that, y'all. You could barely tell.
What?
And then you see the trees behind that. Like, what is that all about?
Yeah, that is some Truman Show stuff.
That?
Holy.
It's just like the Truman Show when he got to the edge of the world, y'all, and he noticed that it was literally a wall that is literally painted there, y'all. Look at this. Look at this, just like the Truman Show. Can't go further than that. But yeah, what is that about, y'all? In the middle of the forest?
Weed is the new crack.
Once enough of this artificial weed gets injected into the community, you're going to see New Jack City like you've never seen it before. The new crack is going to be the artificial weed sprayed with the cannabinoids. They legalized it so they could contaminate it and put it in your community. Biochemical warfare against African people. A lot of the marijuana that we're getting now is synthetic.
Fucked with.
And it's being sprayed by cannabinoids coming out of China. And these cannabinoids that they're spraying the weed with make the weed smell 100% stronger. Oppressed people are always looking for distractions, not to pay attention to solving their problems. Marijuana is another distraction from revolution. You follow me? If we ain't drinking, if we ain't smoking, right? Now we high on weed all damn day long.
Yes and no. No comment.
You can manifest absolutely anything that you want in this life. But you've got to deeply, deeply imagine it, and not just imagine it from the outside looking in. You have to imagine you are there. You have to feel the feeling of where you are, smell the smells, listen to the sounds. You have got to trick your mind and body into believing it is real. It will put an imprint on the universe, and it will pull you towards it. That's how manifestation truly works.
So this is definitely,
You see before, look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time in their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah.
But Kat and Dave aren't the only industry insiders who spoke out about ritual sacrifices that are allegedly happening in Hollywood. Kanye West also talked about this last year during a run-in with the paparazzi, and he claimed that a lot of celebs, including himself, lost their loved ones to Hollywood sacrifices.
My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
And then after Takeoff was killed in November 2022, former music executive and video director Robbie Starbuck went viral after sharing a video about music industry sacrifices. Starbuck worked with multiple high-profile rappers before he left the industry, including Gucci Mane, Snoop Dogg, and Lil Yachty. And in his viral video, he talked about why so many young black rappers are dying young while music executives live to an old age.
The truth is this, a bunch of young black male rappers keep dying. You know who's not dying? Record executives. The record executives that push for them to continue to make songs and create a culture that is obsessed with death, drugs, and sex. Period.
Starbuck explained that record executives push black artists to promote harmful things to do in their own community in order to, as Kanye put it, traumatize and monetize the black community.
So this is why you don't leave your shoes outside, I guess, in Florida, because these little bugs, holy cow, look at this. Look how many of these things I got. These little millipedes will come into your shoes, and especially right after it rains. It just rained tonight. But yeah, look how many of these things are in there. Holy cow, look at this. Let's dump them all out.
Wow.
Yeah, oh my god.
You could farm those.
Yeah, let's get the rest out of there. Okay. Look at all these little things. Isn't that crazy? Those are all just my shoes. This is after one night in Florida. Jesus.
Cockroaches are known to crawl up people's ears while they're sleeping, and they do this because they're searching for food. You see, cockroaches are attracted to fermented foods like cheese and beer, and your earwax smells just as good to them. Now, despite urban legends, bugs can't crawl all the way into your brain, but they can get stuck in your ear and sometimes require a trip to the ER.
Mr. Jim Carrey.
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue. It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things, and you know, and you know, look at him trying to calm it down. It's hilarious. And you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second. You know what they're trying to do? Who? This thing is buzzing. Hold on. They're trying to turn us into, you know, consumer drones of some sort. Hold on, I just got to get this.
And
yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus. That's 5.5.
That's a big one, huh?
5.5 heads-up HD display.
They can completely mock you, to your face, letting you know that they are mocking you. Unreal.
Going to leave us technology for free energy devices for a very long time. Now, if you guys question the authenticity of crop circles, I highly suggest doing some research. And if you're too lazy to do the research, I've done it for you, and so is this man. This is Professor William Levengood, and he's been studying crop circles for a very, very long time. Now, what we noticed on the real crop circles is the seeds of the stalks would all explode out of the nodes, and the crops would coil up like this. And the magnetic energy at these sites is off the charts. Now, with that being said, some are fakes, not all possess these qualities. But when you look into these real ones, it's easy to see that they're trying to give us free energy devices. This crop circle is placed in front of a windmill and it displays magnetic wheel energy, something far more sustainable than windmills. And it's also free energy. Here's another magnetic motor that was created off of a crop circle blueprint. And an Italian inventor named Umberto Berdau created this free energy device off this alien-created crop circle blueprint. There is absolutely no doubt that the UFOs are creating these crop circles to help us unlock the secrets of the universe. This one represents our 7 chakras, our 7 energy centers within the body. Unlocking these energy centers will help any individual tap into the secrets of the universe. You'll see many crop circles represent magnetic fields, and all these crop circles are created using extreme mathematical precision and divine sacred geometry. There is no doubt that the UFOs are trying to help humanity reach our full potential. Peace and love.
I wonder how many of these crazy sacred geometry crop circles are being ran into AI to see what kind of secrets of the universe are being discovered here.
Across a creepy hole that was covered up in the middle of the desert in an unknown location. So he decided to uncover it and have a look what's down the dark hole.
What?
After enhancing the brightness, we can see what potentially looks like many pairs of glowing eyes lurking at the bottom of the dark hole.
Reasons why the ocean is creepy. Part 1. The ocean is full of black holes.
Yeah, the ocean don't mess around. She really do not.
God. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh no. Yep, she's just going. Keep walking. She's still going. She's going. Oh my God. She's still going.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh, is this a live leak?
Oh my God.
What is this?
Oh my God.
She's the alien.
Yeah, she's the alien.
Yo.
She gives no fucks, oh my God.
These are videos humans were never meant to see, part 19. Okay, so we all know how the moon gets hit by asteroids. But have you ever actually seen the moon get hit by one? If not, you're about to witness it. This video is both extremely fascinating and terrifying. Just look at the explosion this little asteroid causes. Just imagine if this asteroid was bigger.
Is this real footage?
Do we know why black holes would collide with each other? Are they attracted to each other?
Binary star systems are not uncommon. They're fairly common, where 2 stars will be orbiting around each other. If those 2 stars exhaust their nuclear fuel, they can each collapse to a black hole. So that's one possibility. Or it could be a black hole's wandering through and captures another black hole. It's a possibility too. I mean, I think, go ahead and ask your question, but there's one point I want to make as well, which is...
Wasn't that good? Please go.
Yeah, well, it was just that many people have in mind that black holes sort of reach out and grab everything in.
Yeah.
But a black hole of mass m, a black hole whose mass is the same as the sun, has the same gravitational pull as the sun. It's not, it doesn't pull any harder than the sun. It's just that you can get closer to it because it's so small, and therefore you can experience the gravity more strongly. But, a brick of mass M and a black hole of mass M, they exert the same gravitational pull.
Archon, and I am a time traveler.
Adam Archon claims to be an actual time traveler from the year 2045.
Oh, this is fun.
Adam was first featured on a video published several months ago in which he told us why he is in the year 2019. We sat down with him in person for the first time and hooked him up to a lie detector to see if he was telling the truth. Here are the results. Watch this and decide for yourself.
Hello, I am Adam Archon, and I am a time traveler from the year 2045. I have agreed to do a lie detector test with Apex TV today to prove to you that I am telling the truth. I need to prove to you that this is true so that you can take the information that I am giving you and make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a time traveler from the year 2045. Yes, I do have an implanted chip in my hand known as the One. You see, when a chip is put into your hand, like it was in my case, or any part of the body, which in other cases can be, since it is a foreign object, my body was slightly rejecting it, so my hand was getting swollen. Luckily, as you can see now, the swelling has completely gone down, and everything is basically normal. Yes, it is true that aliens did land on Earth in August 2028. In fact, we have known of the existence of aliens before 2028, but it isn't until 2028 that it becomes public knowledge.
Bing! We're true.
Yes, it is true that time travel was released to the public in 2028, but it was invented in 1981. It was just kept secret until they released it publicly. Yes, Yolanda Renee King does become, and she is in fact noted as the greatest president of the United States.
True, we can confirm.
Yes, I can confirm that aliens do not come from space, but I cannot elaborate on where they come from because of the possibility of a paradox.
True, confirmed.
Yes, in 2030, all of the world's countries converge into one supernation. Within the nation, 7 districts are formed.
New World Order confirmed.
Yes, there in fact is an AI that governs the entire world, and 10 people that monitor its decisions. The 10 people mainly monitor the AI's programming and check its morality to see if its decisions are best suited for the people. Yes, there is a single currency, and to form transactions with it, all you have to use is a chip that is implanted into your hand. Yes, there is no cash. Yes, there is an AI that is released to all of the world known as the Light. It is put into every single device, and you can ask it anything you want, and it'll give it an answer to the best of its ability. Yes, through the Avatar program, you were able to get your own avatar, connect to it from anywhere in the world, and then you can take the avatar anywhere in the world with superhuman abilities. Yes, you wear a suit to simulate yourself being the avatar, and the avatar will mimic your action. No, you can't get hurt. The avatars are nearly indestructible, but with the slight chance that they are damaged, it will not be transmitted to your body. Yes, overpopulation has become a big issue for the fact that most people live in large cities. Many current cities will be destroyed due to rising sea levels. For one example I will give is Los Angeles. Yes, the location of it as of now is underwater. In the future, But the city is practically completely relocated, and there is now a new Los Angeles.
New York.
In fashion, the color spectrum has greatly disappeared. You mainly just see black and white on clothes in the future. Yes, that is why I'm wearing this white shirt with my favorite black and white tie.
You've mentioned that Switzerland is a main hub. What can you share about Switzerland and what's truly going on there? What's the significance of Switzerland?
Switzerland is the capital of evil. That's where evil resides. All the psychopaths are there. All the crazy elite are there. And Davos happens to be the capital of the capital. That's it. And it's obvious. They decide over there who's going to live and who's going to die. They decide what's going to happen to the economy. They decide about all of the nonsense you see on the news. Pay attention. In all the wars, Switzerland has never been attacked. Nobody ever conquered it. They're in the middle of all of the wars. Look at World War II. Everybody had something to do with the war. Sweden, Norway, everywhere. Not Switzerland. How come?
Why do you believe they chose Switzerland?
Did you know that the Bible tells us where Satan dwells? What? Yes, did you know that the Bible actually tells us where Satan lives? In both Revelation chapter 2, verse 13, and Revelation 9, verse 11.
I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. And thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication.
So where was St. Antipas martyred? Well, St. Antipas was martyred during the reign of Nero by burning in a brazen bull-shaped altar at the Apollyon Temple, which happens to be located in Geneva, Switzerland. What? So what else is located in Geneva? Well, CERN, which has a 666 logo, is located directly on top of the exact location where Antipas was martyred. So what is CERN discovering? Well, let's check out their website. And on the CERN website, it reads, at the Large Hadron Collider, says that the Titanic machine may possibly create or discover previously unimagined scientific phenomenon, or unknown unknowns, for instance, an extra dimension. And out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it, says Sergio Bertolucci, who is the Director of Research and Scientific Computing at CERN, briefing reporters, including the Reg at CERN headquarters earlier this week. We're looking here at an imminent visit from a race of carnivorous dinosaur men, the superhuman clone hive legions of some evil genetic queen empress, infinite polypantheons of dark negadeities imprisoned for aeons and hungering to feast upon human souls, a parallel history, victorious Nazi global Reich, or something of that type. But what else is located at Geneva? Is it possible that Satan would actually want to bring the world's most powerful organizations to where he lives? Why does the United Nations have an office in Geneva? Why is the World Health Organization located in Geneva? Why is Gavi, the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations, headquartered in Geneva? Why is the World Economic Forum and their 666 logo located in Geneva? Why is there a statue of the goddess of destruction Shiva located directly in front of CERN?
Many are reporting about a recent scientific breakthrough that may possibly open gateways into dark dimensions. So what is the big fuss about CERN? Check this out.
What they're trying to do there is mimic, approach the energies that happened at the beginning of the Big Bang. When all the energy that was released, some of it stayed energy, a lot of it turned into matter. And so if you want to understand the nature of that matter, you need to pull it apart and have a good look at it. If we want to understand our place in the universe, we need to get as deep down as we can get, as deep down as we can get. And in order to do that, you need these energies, and that's what they're doing.
What it is basically a giant ring, and it goes several miles in circumference. When it goes around, what it is doing is firing particles at nearly the speed of light in opposite directions so they collide. But outside is a very peculiar entity. It's Shiva. Shiva is this entity that they have outside their facility, and you just wonder, why would they have this? This has to do with the goddess of destruction.
They had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon.
A significant section of CERN that is built upon the saint genus Poeli, and a temple were dedicated there in ancient times.
That's all we have for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Much love. Remember to question everything, and I'll see you guys all next time. Cheers.